Hi everyone, it's Kyle from Beyond and Back Travel again. So a lot of you are wondering what it's like to fly right now. Well, I did it. Things have changed. It's a whole different world. Last weekend I flew to Virginia. I was extremely impressed with the amount of people that were complying with the current CDC and airline guidelines. You can't expect much from the onboard service nor from the airport experience. Most of the restaurants and bars at the airports were closed, so make sure that you are planning well in advance and having your lunch or dinner or breakfast prior to getting there. And the onboard service is non-existent. The flight attendants obviously were in and about the cabin, making sure everyone was wearing their facial masks properly, but no food or beverage was served. The flight attendants will be able to take individual requests. So, if you are thirsty or need something to eat, they'll happy to oblige. But as far as the general service for all passengers, that has been suspended until further notice on all flights operating within the US. Depending on which airline you fly, you're going to have a very different onboard experience. American, United, Frontier, and Spirit are all filling the planes to capacity. When you're looking at the seat map and you see that middle seat is booked, it's booked by a person, not blocked by the airline. While Delta, on the other hand, is blocking middle seats or every other seat, depending on the aircraft configuration. So when you're looking at which airline you're going to fly, American and United, Frontier, Spirit, their prices may be considerably lower than Delta or Southwest, but you're going to be on a completely full flight. Typically, people cluster around the gate in anticipation of the boarding process. This time around, it seemed like everyone was just staying back, staying in their seats until their actual group number was called. Gate agents were encouraging people not to gather around the boarding area in large groups, so everyone just kind of kept to themselves, boarded when they were supposed to, and it was just a very smooth and more pleasant boarding experience as I've had. You wear your mask to approach the TSA agent who's also masked. You scan your boarding pass, they look at you, they ask you to take down your mask temporarily to see your face, you put it back on, and then you move through the security checkpoint. I know no one likes a long layover, but for the time being, I would strongly recommend that you take a little bit of extra time in your hub cities to make those connecting flights. The deplaning process seems to be taking a lot longer as the airlines do not want people congregating in the galleys or near the aircraft door. So they're only releasing certain number of rows at a time. Everything just seems to be slowed down. If you require wheelchair assistance, it takes them a little bit longer to get there. If you have valet checked bags off of the regional jets, it takes a little bit longer for them to arrive. I encourage you all to add 20 to 30 minutes to your normal, comfortable connecting time, but don't assume that your favorite airport lounge is going to be open. A lot of the lounges have been closed since the start of the pandemic. They are slowly reopening, obviously with capacity restrictions and certain other procedures in place. But make sure you check in advance before you fly, because that 3-hour layover may be a lot more uncomfortable if that Sky Club lounge is not open. At this point, as a first class passenger, you are just getting a bigger seat and in a better position on the plane. And that's about it. No pre-flight Bloody Marys, no pre-flight champagne. The airlines are treating every passenger the same when it comes to onboard service. Perhaps the first class passengers will get a personal bottle of water or a cup with ice in it. There is very, very limited offerings on planes that are operating within the US at this time. So as you can expect, as the airlines are trying to balance out their schedules, there are schedule changes happening all the time. Keeping in mind that each schedule change allows you, the consumer, to modify your flight itinerary with no penalty. So let's talk about change fees for a moment. What used to burden the average leisure traveler, $200 here, fare differences, $400 for international tickets, have become a thing of the past. The amount of flexibility that they're allowing the leisure traveler is unprecedented. Now, keeping in mind that if you do make a change, it's a one-time thing. So they're giving you a little leeway, but not full freedom to change the ticket at any time you want and multiple times. As you're booking future airline tickets, you need to make sure that you are understanding how each airline is handling this situation. It is not consistent across the board. So when you're selecting your flight, make sure you have a conversation with your travel advisor about which airline is best for you, and then get their feedback, because that may help you make the final decision. That decision may be on an airline that's more expensive, but at least you know that you and as the customer are protected and are going to be treated fairly in the event of a schedule change or a cancellation. For those of you that are considering your next vacation in the near future, we hope you found this helpful. Thanks for watching. I'm Kyle Bowman, and buon viaggio.